Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumet Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy. I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. Howdy. Got this new cowboy hat, upgrading my avatar. Let's get it. So, I came across something very interesting. Okay? I came across an Instagram post by Lightest Consciousness about a man. Man by the name of Nikola Tesla, but also I recognize that his truth has been explained through a very, very intelligent man named Walter Russell. Now, if you haven't heard of Walter Russell, I urge you to check him out immediately, because this stuff is really profound. And first and foremost, I want you to stop this video right here and watch another video if you don't want to get too deep, too profound, or too woo-woo, too spiritual, okay? I want you to stop this video right now, go and watch something else. Okay, this is not for you, but for the people that want to dive deep into the nature of reality and understanding how to merge metaphysics, perennial wisdom, idealism with spiritual and holy physics. Stay tuned, okay? Now, I took a bunch of notes from Walter Russell's book, The Universal One, okay? Now, of course, I just took down notes of things that resonated with me. I didn't take down everything, but even in this deep dive, you might get something. You might get a transmission or a download or a realization or an epiphany through this video. I urge you to look at the book yourself and do your own deep dive. However, this is what came through for me. And if anything resonates with you, please let me know, okay? So I will be looking down at my phone a bunch of times because I have the notes written out here. Alright, so let's get started. So, the Universal One, okay? So first of all, he states that mind equals light, which equals matter plus energy. Knowing man instead of sensing man. We must be knowing man instead of sensing man. Now, I resonate with that a little bit. You know, we become too sensitive. But do we really know? Do we really know the truth of what's going on, right? So, he also says we need to be supra-rational. Supra-rational. Okay? Meaning going beyond the rationality. Okay? And we have to have faith in the infinite. He also says to increase our awareness of our relation to Source. Basically, there's orderliness, symmetry, and balance that our nature expresses. The law of love, I love this one. I love this one, okay? It says the law of love is rhythmic, balanced interchange between all things. The law of love is the rhythmic, balanced interchange between all things. Knowledge is not acquired from without, merely recollected from within. Think in light from within to open the doors of all knowledge. Omnipotence lies in perfect thinking. The universe is a tonal one, universe of tones, a dimensionless universe of light. Work, which is created in the ecstasy of inner thinking, can endure. So only work, which is created in the ecstasy of inner thinking, can endure. You see a lot of artists coming out of the woodworks, right? But those artists aren't creating from the ecstasy of their inner thinking, right? They're probably just trying to make a buck. They're trying to survive. They're working on their art form or their craft like they have to do it, not that they choose to do it. So, when work gets created through that ecstasy of inner thinking, that's when that work can endure the test of time. And he also has something interesting to say about time as well. Okay, he says time is relative. He says time is infinite. So all motion is motion in equilibrium. Life is the pulsing electromagnetic oscillation of thinking mind. Matter is motion in opposition. The absolute is as formless as the ocean. This is very interesting, okay? Guys. He sees this world as this oceanic current, okay? So the absolute, God, source, okay? The absolute is as formless as the ocean, and the downstream, or the waves, the little splashes of waves of this ocean, is the physicalism that we find ourselves in. Okay? So this 3D realm is giving form. But it's the downstreams in the waves. It's not the actual ocean. It's not the entirety of it. There are many branches to this tree, we could say, and we are those branches, kind of extending outwards and getting in this illusion of physicality and like how we have a physical body and things like that, right? So dissolution is the decentrative desire of the mind to return that which it has created back to its source in the one. The universal substance divides itself into the appearance of two opposites. So he's saying the duality, this world of duality or dual opposites or poles, opposing poles, is an illusion. Okay, it just divides itself in the appearance that they're separate, but they're actually one. Creation is merely a cosmic pendulum from inertia through energy and back again to inertia forever and ever. So he's basically saying that life is a sine wave. It's a wave, right? So it's motion. He's saying a series of opposition pulsations of action and reaction, integration and disintegration, expansion and contraction. There is this dual nature of things happening. However, the universe is one mind only. And thinking is an action which is the cause of all motion. So thinking is the thing that generates everything forward, creates motion, right? Positive electricity seeks higher pressures and negative electricity seeks lower pressures. The secret of the universe is in your breath. Okay? The inhalation, exhalation, expansion, contraction. Okay, up, down, hot, cold. You understand that this is the rhythm of life. Okay? All motion is spiral and oscillatory. Okay, he also mentions that one spiral goes in and one spiral goes out. So, systolic, diastolic blood, if you know about the lungs and the heart, right, it creates an infinity channel almost. So, it's the infinity is within you, basically. The heartbeat. Basically, the secrets are all under our nose. The breath, the prana, teaches us about life. Okay? Generation, to generate something, to create, is the attractive, generative, positive electric force, and radiation is the repulsive, emanative, negative magnetic force. So thinking is the electrogenerative action, magneto-radiative reaction of mind. He relates this to also the law of gender, in a sense, right? On how male is action and reaction is female. And everything is this electromagnetic, general radiative interchange of God's mind, of which we are nerve endings. So I was mentioning earlier, we're the branches of the tree, right? Induction and conduction. A conditioned fact cannot be a fact. Okay? Something that is conditioned into you cannot be the truth. Integration, disintegration, and reintegration. All motion is a universe of production, destruction, and reproduction. So this is like the Ouroboros eating its own tail, right? This is this endless, infinite loop of this universe. He says death is the beginning of life, right? So he's basically mentioning that life is eternal, it's this infinite game, and, you know, we have to keep going, right? We have to keep moving forward. He also mentions something interesting about sex. He says sex is the active desire of mind for the division into opposites when you have a baby, essentially splitting into separateness, right? You are creating a version of you. So he says that sex is the active desire of mind for division into opposites and its reactive desire for unity. All desire is sex desire, right? Isn't this what Freud was talking about? Right, everything is sex. Well, that's what this guy is saying as well, in the sense of it's a force in thinking that continues thinking. And all thinking is rhythmic thinking. All thinking is sex thinking. Okay? Light is the energy and language of all thinking. Form is a plaything of idea. I love these. He's such a poet, but he's also such a scientist. This is what I'm enjoying about this, okay? This is like I'm reading you a spoken word, right? Okay. In perfection of union lies stability. In imperfection of union lies instability. Unstable unions tend to return to their separate tonal states. If either finds a more stable mate, they will leave the former and go to the latter. So he's basically bringing up relationships too, through this idea, right? In perfection of union lies stability. So stable relationship is the perfection of union. The imperfection of union lies instability. Unstable unions tend to return to their separate tonal states. Okay? Any chemist can break up any unstable compound formed by the union of non-equal opposites and introducing an element which is a true tonal mate to either. So what does he mention here? Okay, I'm Google translating this in terms of what I understand. Okay, so he's basically saying, you know, we live in this nature of opposites. So masculine can attract feminine, and feminine can attract masculine, right? We can't have two very baseline, chemical baselines, right, where it's just like there's no masculine polarity anymore. There's no feminine polarity anymore. It's just going to be two friends, basically. No friction, no chemistry. Then he says, no idea of mind can ever begin or ever end. Both ego and time are the biggest anchors holding humans away from truth. Okay? If you take away ego, if you take away time, you're going to realize the ultimate nature of it all. Which is that oneness, which is that eternity. Inspired man knows the law of love in his heart. The law of love, as I mentioned, the interchangeable, right, rhythm. So, the law of love in his heart is the oneness of the universe. The painter in this case is God. The painter has infinite variation. I am the expression of the universal passion of creation. That's a great affirmation. That's a great affirmation for you today. I am the expression of the universal passion of creation. Wow. That hit me. I don't know if that hit you in that way, but anyway. The ripples in the water effect upon the substance of water. Vapor which disappears from man's sense of vision does not cease to be water. It can again reappear to the vision of man as water. Imperfection, or evil, is non-existent. They who attain the ecstasy of genius, or flow state in my opinion, are ordained messengers of the universal one. Genius gives the man the harmonies of universal rhythm, and without which all is discord. He who tunes his heart to the messages of genius purifies himself. The penalty of genius is crucifixion. The reward of genius is immortality. Genius desires no reward. The glory of genius is humility. Genius knows not the taint of arrogance. Man has all knowledge in himself. Electricity is centripetal, the generative force which attracts, and magnetism is the centrifugal force or the radiative force which repels. Death is but the beginning of life. Magnetism is the female whose older and wiser sister, the oceanicness of the world, and the electricity is the younger creative brother, which is the waves. The ocean and the waves, okay? We're just experiencing these waves, but hey, there's an ocean out there. To know the wave is to know the secret of creation. The wave is a spiral, mass in opposition. Waves is the energy in motion, which is also emotion. Polar ratios in flux. The colors of light are the letters of the alphabet. Light is the universal language. Combinations of the letters of light are the words of the language of light. All light is a complexity of all colors. Mind creates that which mind thinks. Jesus knew the universal language of light in all its fullness. He knew the ecstasy of inner thinking as no man has ever sought it. So in the chapter of John, you also hear, like, Spirit of Truth will again come to guide you into all truth. And again, the Buddhas, the Lao Tzus, the Muhammads, the Hermes, all of these teachers are just helping us pierce the veil and realize the ultimate truth, the reality of all nature, the nature of reality, okay? No state of motion has ever began or ever ended. Okay, even if we're in this state of stuckness, that's not true, right? Atoms are constantly vibrating, so we're in this state of suspended animation, you could say. Like, the animation is still moving, the film reel is still moving, but it's just, it looks stagnant. Stillness is a way that we actually tune in to this inner thinking, right? The ecstasy of our inner thinking, which can endure, which is the only thing can endure throughout time. Agentless, absolute, infinitely expressing itself. That's what I wrote at the end. Okay, so this is very vague, right? I know there's a lot of complexity here, but it can be very simple because he is mentioning these simple ideas in very complex ways and breaking them down. And he has these amazing diagrams in his book. They look like very scientifically drawn out diagrams, but they're also art, right? It's just art in a very beautiful way. The way Ram Dass's work, Be Here Now, is like art, this is also like art. So, again, thank you, Walter Russell, for introducing these interesting concepts to me, because it's expanding my mind in a new way. I hope that it helped you out in some way. If anything resonated with you, if you thought of anything, if you got a sudden burst of insight, let me know in the comments, and I'll be with you in another video. Have an amazing day. May the flow be with you, and stay legendary. I'll see you guys next time. Boom.